Alright, so check this out. The spirit is beyond words. Now, why do I say that? We say shit like in the Bible, oh, the spirit moves through all things. Oh, the spirit is free. Yet, we try to find specific things to describe and put a name upon the spirit, like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's what it is. In some places, they were like, oh, it's the sun. In some places, we're like, oh, it's the wolf. In some places, like, oh, it's the man that was sent by God. And that has a bigger awareness on consciousness or whatever. But the reason we call the spirit is actually because it moves through all things and it's free, yet it's everything. So we're trying to mark the timings and understand the transformational phases that this shapeless, formless, odorless, gasless form goes through to create this reality we're in, which is the spirit. And we know we all have a spirit, but we know the spirit is not our thoughts and feelings, because we can observe our thoughts and feelings going by. Now we can choose to do a thought and feeling, have sex with the thought and feeling mentally, and bring our spirit and that external force and make that one to produce a situation, a circumstance, or even like a rush, an adrenaline rush, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, a neurological rush, you know what I'm saying, a rush of desire, a rush of anger, a rush of dopamine. It could be a lot of rushes because there's a lot of spirits that are rushing, trying to rush and gush out into this dimension. So when we observe phenomena like that, we're observing a spirit move in mysterious ways. So we try to give it names like science. We try to give it names like neuroscience. I think we want to say that. You know, I mean, astronomy, phases of the day, things like that. So we attempt to give this formless, shapeless, odorless, gasless thing a name, and try to make it a little bit more third dimensional for us to understand it and create methods on how to harness it, let's say, because we harness the energy of the earth, and we can also harness the energy of the people around us. So this force, this mysterious thing, is moving through all things. Even right now, this force is moving through me, so I can move my lungs and blah 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 and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's the force, it's the spirit. So we're trying to give this these cycles a name, the cycles within our body, the cycles that go on externally. So one thing I like to ask people, for example, is what's the difference between 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning when the sun comes out, depending on your geographical location and the time zone of it? What's the difference between that and the sign of Aries? Because beyond words, beyond linguistics, beyond this left brain perception that we're in, we can see that they're both pointing to the same properties, because Aries in astrology is a cardinal fire sign, and it's the beginning. So it's the Genesis. So it's the beginning, it's the morning. So from our timing belt, that's why in the Bible there's this one angel that they describe as an angel being wheel within wheel. The wheel within wheel is really just the atmospheres and the cycles that we're in and things like that. So when you begin to understand how these wheels interact with each other, you understand the circumstance and effect that gets created from that. And when you understand what's being created from that, you get a little more access to the source, to alchemy, to creating and harnessing things, like I'm saying, basically. So yeah, that shit is really deep. It's not even really deep. It's just that the average person doesn't really take their time to observe what's really going on, because most people see the world around them, but most people are not observing the world around them. So there's a difference between seeing and observing. So seeing is just seeing a color and being like, wow, that's cool. So you got a stimulation, but wasn't sure. Observing is understanding, that color portrays a particular frequency or information, which is Lucifer, which is data, because this world's all made of information, dense information. But information always exists on other dimensions, on the first, second, which is the thoughts and feelings dimension, and also on the fourth and fifth, which is what we appreciate and we're passionate about. And in those things we can find like predecessors, spirits before us that did those areas and things like that. So that's like the light ladder of how to ascend your spirit and how to make your spirit do a bigger water cycle, so you can expand and contract much more faster, much more bigger. This way you're kind of like a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? Real shit. So yeah, real motherfucking shit, yo. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, y'all have fun.